Yo, welcome back to another episode of On Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by quite a few special guests. I'm very excited to get these roller hockey guys on. They're just competing at State Wars, so we have a lot of guys coming on. But first we have Justin Black from Black Ice 2.0 and Marv from Black Ice 2.0 as well. How are you boys doing to start things off here?
And Anthony, Jack. Don't mean to forget myself, but I'm kind of there.
And you're somewhat there. Anthony Butrico is somewhere there.
Yeah, I did fit in. I did win the championship with them. I did win with them. But you guys take over. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, but like what's been your experience so far at State Wars? You guys obviously won the championships. Like, how was that?
It was definitely a fun experience, especially for our younger guys and like the guys that are developmental on our team and like older guys like myself. Like getting a win in the Tier 2 division was huge for us. It was a good step towards like what we want to become and like the teams that we want to play against, which are in the Palma Pro division. I thought the playing division was really well structured. I thought every team we played was super good, and I thought every team was like super organized and they took it seriously and professional about everything they did. So the tournament, I mean, everything was almost a one-goal game, so I thought it was super successful all in all for State Wars itself. Jay?
Yeah, I would say pretty much for our guys here, we're all junior D1 guys competing in the pro division, trying to take that next step. And we have guys like Marvin, a couple like Butrico and older guys that are, been here for a while and playing in the division, helping us out, trying to all guide us to that next step to playing pro against, the Black Ices and the Palma and the top tier teams in pro. So it's definitely an experience. And to come out and win in our first year trying to do this and put this together was really cool for us.
Yeah,
you explain how Black Ice 2.0 started too?
Yeah. So how did Black Ice 2.0 start?
So basically, like a lot of the teams that are competing now, like the Roadrunners have their chemistry team, which is their younger team with guys who are filtering in and out of the pro team, and then PGK and all those teams. So for Jay, it was like trying to groom guys into playing on the team when Kraft finally goes to the retirement home, which who knows when that will be. So. But for that is just going to take the next step and then take his spot on the roster, hopefully. But that was the whole point of it, to just get guys' feet in the water and get them ready for pro.
Is Tyler Kraft gonna hang him up?
Hopefully.
You're an idiot. The guy's gonna hang him up when he can't walk anymore.
He's never gonna hang him up.
Yeah.
I'll be there waiting.
That's the goal, just to take his spot. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
I think Jay and I both have in our youth programs kids coming up. So 2.0 is a way for those kids to have a team to strive for, knowing that any kid's dream would be to play on Tyler's Black Ice team. That's a pretty tough mountain to climb. But if you have an entry point into one of these lower teams that allows my youth teams, Jay's youth teams, to have a path in there without having to wrestle them back from another team they jumped on when they were 18, 19. So the hope is we're giving these guys a path that, all joking aside, eventually guys on the older Black Ice team are going to get to a point where they're phasing out. Now Jay's not trying to scramble and find new players. He's got kids building up the farm team to come in. I couldn't be happier with that idea. I think it's awesome.
I agree. I'm definitely envious of like the younger group that gets to play with us. Like, after me being an older guy, like seeing them like grow up in a development team to become better into a pro team. I wish something like that would have happened for us as like 18, 19-year-olds. But I think the idea now of like that becoming every pro team, having like a bottom, like almost like a feeder team or a farm system, if you want to call it that way. I feel like that's the future of our sport with the play and tournament and Palma Pro itself, is like each team having like a 2.0 team or like a different team, like how Rotors, Chemistry, Black Ice 2.0. If we can get like a Snipers 2.0, or we can get like a car, like how the Car Shield Blast is, and like we develop this into like we can do like almost like a NHL, AHL. We can do like a Palma Pro and a Palma Pro play. I think that's the future of our sport. I think it's a really great idea that we have going on here.
Yeah, it's like what do you think is the development like from going from like say the AHL affiliation to like the NHL? So Black Ice 2.0 to the Black Ice. Like what do you need to develop to like get to that next spot with the team?
I think for these guys, they can play against teams of their own caliber forever, and it's not really going to push them beyond being able to beat a team of their caliber. So we play at Arch in a division with every other pro team. Some of those games are going to be blowouts, and we know it going in. Like, our goal is to keep the bleeding down, try not to lose the older Black Ice team by more than 4 or 5, try to give the Roadrunners a game, try to give Palma a game. gives them the chance to see what that level is going to be like and have a measuring stick for where their skill level needs to be to play in it.
Yeah.
So we know those games are maybe not wins going in. The goal is to get the most out of those losses as we can. If all you do is play a lower level or junior men's platinum, you're not prepared to play pro guys. You jump in and you're having to learn by doing it. They can learn by doing it now and not be somebody's 15th guy on their roster where they get 2 shifts a game against 1 or 2 teams. This is a chance to go in and know what you're going to face when you're there. No expectations other than get better from it.
Yeah.
I also think
always learn from those situations too.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit there and tell a guy all day long, this is what you're going to need to do to play at this level until they go out there and do it and make those mistakes and learn from it. They're not going to get to that point.
I also feel like for like, especially like the younger guys, 80% of our team are still playing 21 and under. So from going pro and then playing that fast pace, you know, everybody's on you. You don't have really time to think, and then you play down, or you're not down, but in your own division, it gives you more time to think. You're used to it, and you almost helps you, you know, develop better in that division and excel and succeed.
Yeah, you look at Don DeLuca at Tours. You know, he goes in the corner with Pat Maroon, and Pat takes his innocence 9 different times, but he gets back up and goes and plays the next shift. Next time he goes in the corner with Pat, he knows he's going to get banged around, but he knows he's going to live through it. Now he's not afraid to do it. I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, makes a big difference when you do learn that, and like you know you're gonna get hit and banged up in the corner, but like you're still going in there and doing it, and you're not giving up. Like you're learning from those situations, and as long as you keep learning, even when you're losing games, like it's all that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to know you can't have a tight cap on a guy like Spezia. Spezia is going to burn you. Like, you're not going to learn that until you get burned 3 different times. And then you go like, oh shit, I got to give him the right gap. So little things like that you're not going to learn until, unfortunately, you do it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll cut in here.
Yeah, go for it, Boots.
Sorry, Jack. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, buddy. But so as far as I know, this team, they used to be Fire and Ice years ago. What group of guys is still consistent from that team? Because I know Tristan was there. I know Sobo was there. Gage was there. Who was on that team? Because those guys have played together forever.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's always had those Inferno kids from PA for a while now, and usually when, you know, the Inferno guys aren't playing in PA with their group of guys, they always play with Jay. You know, the Sabazlis and Gage and Tristan, the guys that make up most of our 2.0 roster. They pretty much have been consistent with us and play juniors and D1 with us as well. And they're a great group of skilled guys, obviously. So it's nice to have them doing this with us, kind of thing.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jack, but this is our one of our coaches from Florida, Todd.
How's it going?
He's a beauty. We love him.
He runs everything. He's the best. We love you, Todd.
We do love you, Todd. Sorry, he's our guy. I had to interrupt real quick. He's our guy.
Yeah, come on, Boots. The fuck.
Yeah, I know. My bad. That's on me.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I mean,
Boots, what are you gonna say?
you can go, Jack. Sorry.
Oh,
My bad.
I
I'll
was
shut
gonna-
up now. My bad.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Like what's like some of your favorite like stories that you have from like State Wars, like this past, like obviously the championships are a pretty cool story, but like any other stories that stand out throughout your time playing?
That having a run from one rink to the other was kind of a gambit there.
That was So we played a game at a rink that was 10 minutes away, or what, 15?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah. And then we had to get off immediately and run to another rink to play immediately. So that was a little bit of a toss up for us. Luckily, the boys were still dialed in though, and we figured it out, and we ended up winning both of those to get us to play the next day.
Thank you.
I mean, overall, I think the tournament's been ran beautifully though.
Yeah.
I think all of these tournaments, honestly, the way they can fabricate everything that they do, taking over an ice rink, putting this stuff down, obviously everything's not going to be perfect. It's very hard to do what they do. I don't think they get enough credit for what they do sometimes, but I think what they did this weekend was beautifully ran. You know, I think unfortunately we had that instance, but besides that, everything else seems to be pretty good.
I think every year with State Wars, they have like the utmost professionalism in like every division and the way they run it, the way like they're quick on it with like if anything's behind, they're quick on it, like figuring out a solution. I mean, I commend them for that. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Teams, you know.
And they're balancing 4 surfaces, right? In 3 different buildings.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
that's
Right. I want to do Kraft. You want to hop in there?
Oh yeah,
You want to talk about the big dogs?
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, get on. Get
We're
Justin out
with
of the
Tyler
picture.
Tyler
Let
Kraft
the
now
boys go to
of
work
Black
here.
Ice. So Tyler, like what has it, because obviously you're well known in the roller hockey world. It's like what's your story leading up to being with Black Ice?
I started Black Ice when I was 10 years old. I had a team prior to that kind of just folded. And I met Jason at a regional in New Jersey, and I was playing for kind of like a throw together team. And he was like, "Hey, I know your team just broke up. We're looking for a skater." And yeah, the rest is history. I started playing with them the next tournament, and then just continued to play. Still, some of the guys on our pro team are on my 95 team. So we have myself, PJ, DiMartino, and Matt Gerger that were on that 95 team. So we've been playing together since we were literally 10 years old. And then obviously Chavo is only 1 year older. So every other year we play with him, Coslow. So basically our group we've been together since we were kids. So
Yeah. So like what do you learn
that's
growing up?
basically been the story.
Yeah. What do you learn from like growing up and playing when you're 10 and then going into like where you're at now? Like obviously there's a lot of things to learn, but like what were some of the
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
things you learned?
Oh, I mean, I was always just my own age group growing up until 18U. I never played anything I never played up or anything like that. So when I made the jump to pro, I was actually just like a bench guy. I just sat on the bench, like a cheerleader, and kind of just cheered the guys on. I didn't really get any shifts, and when I did, I just gave it my all. And then after some time, I started getting out there, and yeah, you learn, like everyone was saying, you learn who to respect, who to take advantage of on the rink. It's not about a lot of these kids coming in now. It's all like speed, speed, speed. But if you watch me play, I'm not fast at all. I just kind of think it all out, make the right play, and try and just do what's best for the team.
Yeah. And like that's huge. That's huge to learn from those experiences and everything, especially like when you go from being the bench guy and then you're obviously playing, like you learn a lot from there, from just sitting and watching and being just taking it all in, just watching everything and just being that sponge, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it was it's pretty cool to see where I was and where what all I've done. I've been playing pro since 2014. So I mean, I'm only 28, but I feel like I'm 40 at this point. He's telling me to be in a retirement home. But
You just waiting to
I
take
feel
your
older
shot.
than him. Yeah. So
Look good for 28.
yeah, thank you.
Great. Great for 28.
So yeah.
Yeah, but like what have been some of your favorite memories from playing roller throughout this entire journey?
There's so many good ones. I mean, winning our first pro championship in Florida, 2014 was definitely awesome because we won 18 and under the same year. So it's pretty cool to win in basically a youth division and a pro division in the same tournament. When I get the chance to represent USA, anything I do, we've been to Spain, Argentina. We had one in Alabama. Like all those experiences are unreal.
And coming up, you're going to Italy, right?
Yep, going to Italy in September. So yeah, I mean, there's so many great stories, but I guess my biggest one would be winning the first pro championship.
Yeah, that's always a memorable one that you're always going to remember the most and learn so much from that. Like such a cool experience.
For sure.
Yeah, but like how excited are you to go to Italy this year to play?
I'm excited. We actually just had a meeting this morning, so we got all the teams together, or not the team, sorry, the players together. So we all battled each other all weekend long, and then we all, it's pretty cool to see like you're basically making you could do it with so many players, but like an all-star team from different teams, and it's cool to see everybody slashing each other in the face to shaking hands and being like, "Oh, are you ready to play in a month?" Like it's pretty cool for that. Like I think Garrett Ross tried taking my face off with one play, but like we'll be the same team battling for each other in a month, so it's pretty cool for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like that's what hockey's like all about. Like you go to battle with each other like on the ice, on the floor, and then you're best buddies after that. And like you're all going to war against each other. And then when you're playing with each other, even if you had those battles, you're going to battle with them as well.
Right. Yeah, we just played Palma Golden Knights in the Palma Pro final, and we just lost to them like less than 12 hours ago, and we were all just together like in the meet, like 4 of them. The one that scored the game-winning goal was in there, so it's all good. It's cool to be buds off the rink, and then you get to play with these guys. It's a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, what is that roller hockey community like? I'm sure like it's super tight like ice hockey as well. So I'm sure it's.
I think ice hockey's way worse.
I think roller hockey's better. Sorry to interrupt. I think roller
100%,
hockey's way better.
100%.
Because I think there's so much bad blood in the sport where like here everybody is close. It's a great community. Everybody knows each other for the most part. We're in a small little, it's a small little community.
Yeah.
But like you'll play your heart out on the rink, and like I said, you battle, and then off the rink you're either drinking beers, or if you partake in anything else, you're doing that. You're hanging out. It's just all. It's all fun. It's a really good community, and we have so many people that help it make it that way. Like everybody's a good dude or girl. Girls.
Yeah, the girls team. His wife Kyla also is a really good roller hockey player. Probably one of the best women in the world. She plays for Ringster.
Yep.
So how does she play for Ringster over not playing for Blacks?
So we made
Oh.
so we made a Black Ice women's team a few summers ago, and then Kyla did all the work to make it happen. She got pregnant, so she wasn't worried about the roller hockey team as much as the baby. And it kind of just fell apart. And then Justin decided he's going to throw a bunch of random people on a team and call it Black Ice. So that's why she's not playing for them. She's playing with her friends. The Black Ice women's team then is now the Ringster team. So it's the same group, just different name.
Did you let that happen?
Yeah.
I like Justin, but he is legitimately a scumbag.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Justin's good people.
No, they're all
No,
great.
I love Justin. That's my
They're all
boy.
great people.
But yeah, for the roller community, but back to that question, it's great. Everybody's close.
Yeah, just have a beer with them after, and everything's right in the world if you're having a beer with the boys.
For sure.
Yeah, the Amherst bar. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like obviously there's like a bunch of different like tournaments within roller hockey, like tours, Narch, and then state wars as well. So like what's the difference between each one, and like because like they're only a couple weeks apart or a couple of months apart.
Yeah, I mean,
Days and weeks apart.
yeah,
right?
we just had Narch finals a week ago. So we went from California basically home for 2 days straight to Missouri for state wars. So I mean, it's a quick turnaround.
I think the biggest difference with tours is like tours you have your pro team with like a couple extra intangibles to try out, and you kind of like feel each other out for like the first tournament of the year, and then you go to Narch, and Narch is kind of I feel like the most old school one because anybody can enter a pro team, anybody. So you can have this huge division of pro teams, and whoever has the best like bracket after pool play, you go into seeding, you go into playoffs, and then whoever the best teams are obviously end up in the final. And I think that's pretty cool that anybody can enter a team. And then State Wars is definitely like far and above the most professional when it comes to like you have to like send in your roster strength, to send your roster like way ahead of time. You can't have like super last minute pickups unless it's like a super emergency. You have to have 2 goalies. Everyone has to have the same color helmet. Like it's more of like I almost want to say like ice hockey professionalism as opposed to the other tournaments where you can just show up with the team you have as long as you have a jersey that's the same color as the other guys in the rink. So that is, you know what I mean? That's the biggest difference for me. Puma Pro by far, playing in that tournament, playing in the top division and the play-in, it is by far the best roller hockey I've played. For
sure.
100%. French league, Spanish league, any of it, it is by far the best roller hockey. As far as strength and like you're playing against guys that are some of the best in the world in ice hockey and in other sports, you know what I mean? So like it's the best roller hockey in the world.
Yep.
Tyler, do you think I was thinking this, do you think the compete level, because from the perspective of being on a bench and watching from the stands, the compete level during Palma Pro, every round robin game is like a playoff compete level.
100%.
Yeah. That was the one thing that I was going to say about like the differences is, you go to tours, and if let's just say you're a top ranked team, you're going to have an easy schedule, right? So you're playing teams that are like our 2.0 that are kind of new to the pro, or teams that just kind of thrown together random guys that don't gel well. So you come here right from the start, you're playing a playoff team. Every game's a playoff game. Like we played Car Shield and Palma, which is like two of the top
Yeah.
3-4 teams in the sport. We played them in round robin. So like I think that's where you come here and you're losing round robin games, and that makes you hungry. Like that makes you hungry for the rest of the tournament. Where tours or March, we kind of
It makes every game matter.
Yeah.
Every point, every
you take-
shift,
yeah,
every game matter.
and the atmosphere too, I notice, is just different here. People are into it. I mean, they are into it for the other tournaments too, but I feel like only in like playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, no,
Championship.
I agree.
And then, but every game here, you have like people in the stands making noise, getting you into it. You're riled up. The games are longer. It just feels more
Yeah.
intense.
No, I agree.
Yeah, the competition stakes are like higher, and like you can probably tell in those games compared to when every point, every goal, every win matters, and makes it more competitive and more fun to play in as well.
We can talk about it enough, but unless you sit in the stands and like are watching a Palma Pro game and you're walking the rink and the buzz in the air and the atmosphere, like it's second to none. Like unless you're there and witness it and like feel it in person, we can't explain how it is. Even I would expect like somebody like an innocent bystander that's walking by the rink and came in there would feel the buzz in the air, like holy shit, like
For sure.
the intensity, the competitiveness, like
And the longer games, right?
Yeah,
Like, you've got
I
those
love
longer
that.
periods, and I can definitely tell end of the first period, end of the second period, where guys are usually at that point done with the game. It's like those extra, depending on your tournament, 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Make a huge difference.
Well,
Like you got to close out those last 4
that's when you
minutes.
bring in like
first,
roster
and hold the lead.
that's when you bring in roster strength. How deep is your bench?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the one thing that it's like the most important thing. I think some people carry 13, and like no one's getting shorted because
No.
there's so much time.
You got to play. Absolutely.
Yeah, like just the atmosphere and everything. Like obviously you said it's like second to none. You can't really explain, but like what is that buzz all about? And like, is it just like everyone that's there, just the competition? Like, what is that atmosphere like?
I think some of it's, they always do a good job, and I think every tournament tries to. Sometimes just the blocks don't align, but during Palma Pro, you have a ton of youth teams in the building.
Yeah.
You have a ton of youth teams that the majority of the kids, I think that's a kid's difference versus an Archer or Tours. The majority of the kids here, I feel like, are roller hockey kids. They're kids that, they might only play State Wars every summer, but that's their thing. So they know what pro roller hockey is. They respect it, and they want to go watch those Palma Pro games. Whereas Archer Tours, if they happen to be at the rink, they happen to be there, maybe they'll watch it. Some of the better ice kids don't even really realize what pro roller hockey looks like until they get older. So I think here you do get, I'm sitting up in our booth, like I hear parents going, oh, it's a Black Ice Tar Shield game, let's go watch that. And like the whole team sets up in the stands all together in their jerseys, and they watch a pro team. And maybe it's because a guy from their state is on that pro team, whatever it is. Like Florida kids were there to watch you. I heard them talking about it during your game. Like they're cheering for Tyler during his game. I know Marvin, Marvin has his own little following of kids that love him that are at these tournaments, and they're all watching his games. Like there was kids that came to our late game to watch Marvin play. So I think that's a cool thing that you get at this tournament. The kids are a little more roller, not too cool for roller, I guess is the best way to put it.
I think the other thing too is, I mean, like Timmy does, he treats the players like professionals. Like he has like pictures of players and teams and all the stuff throughout the ring. So people like, if you're walking around or whatever, people like, oh, that's the guy from the poster or whatever it is. Like they do a really good job of advertising the pro division, and they just make you feel really appreciated. I feel like, not that the other tournaments don't, but
Put you guys on a pedestal.
yeah,
Cool.
it's cool.
We're definitely getting a picture of 2.0 of Justin for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I just think, especially with like the teams that have programs going from like youth to pro, and like the younger kids like who play Black Ice or play Snipers or whatever, and they come to the rink and they see the guys that they're like look up to you as a figure of like, wow, he's really good. Like I want to be like that someday. I think it's huge for those kids, and that's why they really come together and want to come watch the Crafts and whoever represents their team at the pro level. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And Marvin.
And Marvin.
Kids are disappointed when they come to watch Ben.
Comics looks better, yeah. The
There
comics
you go.
looks better.
I had the youth hat, remember?
Oh, did you?
They gave us
And it fit
that's
him.
for
And it fit him.
Oh yeah. I mean, even like the things they give you when you win are sweet. Like everything they do here. Like I honestly, this is my first State Wars ever. So for me,
What a performance by the kid. Too.
for me, like this was so for me, like this is huge. Like this is so cool to me. I've never like obviously we grew up playing ice, Jack. So like we don't know roller like this. I'll tell you for free, dude. Like roller is sick. Like the kids that are sitting at home, like I don't want to play roller. That's not cool. I'm telling you right now, it's way cooler than you think it is. And I get like the stigma behind it, like it's not ice hockey, you can't really hit. No, they hit. I promise
Pull up a car shield roller game.
Yeah, pull up pull up any like even the pro game last night when Palma played black ice.
That's our roller game.
Yeah. There's physicality to it. These guys are being dogs. And it's super cool to see that like a guy in ice hockey might not be the best ice hockey player ever, might be the sickest roller hockey player, but the best ice hockey player might not be a good roller hockey player.
Yeah.
So yes, it's still hockey. Yes, it's still skating. Yes, there's still a puck and a stick, and you still put the puck in the net. Unless I'm in net, then sometimes you do. No, I'm just kidding.
You won't play.
But it's a different version of hockey that's like it's like chess to checkers almost.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you know, roller hockey is a little bit slower of a game. There's 4 guys instead of 5, obviously. But to watch the game, to play in the game, I honestly almost enjoy it more. And the community is great. There's no like Kraft was saying, there's no stigma after the game. You know, we get off the rink and we're hanging out the bar with the same guys we just played against. I mean, sometimes that happens in ice too, obviously. But I think the community in roller hockey is so cool that like I hope everybody gets to experience it if they've never played it before. Like compared to ice hockey, it's really cool to go to an ice hockey tournament. Obviously, there's nothing like State Wars.
Yeah.
And I've been to a lot of ice hockey tournaments. I played at the Brick, and there's nothing like State Wars. You know, like there's nothing like State Wars.
You win it?
No, I didn't win. I didn't win the Brick. Didn't win the Brick.
Didn't win it though.
Didn't win. No.
State Wars also like we were talking about like round robin and everything, how important it is. You actually get money, you know, you get money per win. So if you win all your round robin games, it's 200 a game for your team. Like usually you'll go maybe get dinner with the boys or whatever. You win a quarterfinal game, you get 500. And then if you win the whole thing, you get 20 grand. I mean, it's just little things like that make, you know, it's
Incentives.
it's cool. It's cool that they're doing it for, you know, they're trying to make it as professional as they possibly can, you know. I think that's another thing that, you know, that State Wars does. It's really cool.
No, absolutely.
I think the biggest thing with like the youth and kids getting into roller, it's like their break. Like all year round, they're playing ice and they're practicing 3 times a week. And you know, if they miss a practice, they might not start the next game. And it's like it's their ability to come here and take a little pressure off and be creative and, you know, mess up and not have to worry about the consequences and, you know, just get a break. Like,
By the way, just thinking of it. But anyway, yeah, they do a good job. I forgot that I was on the camera. Trying to whisper here.
Yeah, I'll fuck them anyways.
Have some more fun while you're at it too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But no, I think the whole thing like this weekend, it's Jack. I wish you were here, dude. Like I wish I was now too.
Hey, don't worry, we'll let you know. Next year it's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You should come in.
Is that a for sure? Yeah. We're not going to Detroit.
Oh, never mind. Lied. We're going to Detroit.
I don't know. No
Beautiful.
That's still not that far from Illinois. So I'll make
He's an Illinois guy.
There
He's
you
in
go.
Illinois. Yeah.
I assume the rotation is what it is.
Yeah, right. That's not bad.
We're going to the most beautiful part of the Midwest, Detroit, Michigan.
Bring your guns
City.
and get ready to go. No, seriously, if you can ever make that work, I think if you came to like kind of
I think
out
in person, it's something I promise you, Jack. Out of every tournament we've ever gone to, ice hockey wise, there's nothing like roller.
I'm interested in coming next year.
You should, dude. You should come out.
You get some content.
Well, what's cool too, if you have kids, you know, families, kids listening to your podcast, watching your podcast, like anybody can play State Wars. You don't have to, you know, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to have your own team to be able to come in. If you're from a state that doesn't have a State Wars team, contact State Wars. They'll help you get a team going. If you're an adult team and you want to play, you can just put your team in and
I
enter.
don't know. I'm still.
So there's opportunities. This thing we're talking about that's so cool, you can come play.
Yeah, he just gave you one.
Hit the State Wars website, all the
you're
information is on this.
crushing.
I can't open now.
Yeah, that's cool. That like there's endless opportunities there, and like you can like go in, have your own team, stuff like that, and enter it into these tournaments. And then even if you're not experienced at that level, like you're gonna get experience no matter what, no matter where you play.
Absolutely.
For the record, we're not alcoholics. We're just on vacation here. Like,
Oh, this is
I'm
soda.
just saying.
Yeah.
It's not a good. Yeah.
It's a good time to booze, so I'm not complaining. I wish I was
tournament,
there right
baby.
now.
You do wish you were here. I promise you, Jack. I'm telling you, you got to come
Yeah,
Boots,
next
you-
year.
you-
Next year, we'll see you
Not
there.
Fort Wayne,
Next year.
Detroit.
next. Well, not
It's
even.
either or. Either or. Book a ticket to both.
Yeah, come to Narch. Come to tours.
I'll get on that. I'm definitely interested in coming for sure.
For sure.
All right, beauty.
He's a
Boo-
goalie, so he should start playing. Absolutely. Actually, you should start playing, Jack.
You have a home. in
You could take. Yeah, you can
any
take my
tournament,
spot.
You have a home.
Boots,
Come to
what's
Florida
what's the
Cup, bro.
difference between roller and ice goalie?
So goalie wise,
Your knee.
I love it more on roller, honestly. So for a long time, so the sliding obviously isn't there.
Yeah.
Stop.
And I know you just interviewed Stavi, and I'm sure Stavi told you that like it's harder to maybe do roller than ice or whatever.
Yeah.
But the friction's the real thing. Luckily, no, he's actually a pretty good goalie.
If you make
He's
a
actually
pass,
pretty good.
Okay.
So Kraft plays
that's what I
goalie
wanted to
sometimes.
get
He's
at
pretty good.
We do
I think
everything.
the difference is really the friction. But I think the way the game is played, it's easier to play if you're a hockey nerd. Honestly, if you love hockey, roller hockey is easier to play because you can read the play the entire time. And I don't shut the fuck up when I'm out there. So
I mean,
I'm yelling.
you
at
don't
my
when you're
guys
off
all-
the ice anyways.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, even off the ice, I don't shut up either. But on the rink, it's so fun to play because you can direct these guys. It's chess to checkers.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that roller hockey is more like chess. It's more strategic. You can change your own game by how you decide to play the game. Where ice hockey is more forecheck, back check, paycheck. You know, like you're dogging in the corners. Roller hockey, you're doing the same thing, yes, but there's much more strategy to roller hockey, I think, than there is to ice hockey. Ice hockey, there's a little bit of a physicality level that can change the game significantly. Obviously, you know, in Watertown last year, you guys would beat the wheels off people, and that could change the game significantly. You could have two guys fighting with their shirts off in the middle of the rink, and it would change the game significantly. You know, like stuff like that, I think, obviously isn't in roller hockey, so we don't have that. Sorry, I'm going here. So I don't even. Sorry,
Yeah,
what's
like,
up,
he's
dude?
talking and they're looking at you.
Yeah, I'm like, my bad, Jack, my bad. So I think it's really cool to see that the same guy who could beat the wheels off somebody on ice could come and play roller and be completely different. Like, for example, like Kraft said, Garrett Ross. Garrett Ross is a hardcore ice hockey player too, as well as a roller hockey player. But he plays roller pretty similar to how he plays ice, but he still makes the game work the same way.
Yeah.
That whole Bar Shield team is they're a physical team, yes, but they make it work both ways. Same thing with Adam Ernie. He's an ice hockey player as well. He comes to play roller, and he's a significantly good player at roller as well.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these guys can make it work both ways, and they can figure out the chess to checkers difference on their own. Goalie wise, I think it's really cool to see Redmond play. I think he's a dog. Chinny is an absolute dog. I think it's really cool to see, at least from my perspective, who hasn't been doing it for a long time. I think it's really cool to watch these guys play and be like, wow, like these guys have done it for so long. They're so good at this. Like Redmond is unbelievable. Chinny's unbelievable. Clay Taylor with Palma this weekend, I think he played unbelievable. These guys, like I watched them and I'm like, wow, these guys are so good at hockey. Like they play goalie such a way. Like I hope to be able to do that, but the way they figured it out, I love watching it. You know, it's so good to watch. I think people didn't credit it as much as they should have for a long time, and I think now it's starting to pick up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to see. It's like honestly one of the coolest things to do the crazy backdoor saves. I thought like first game we played, the Propel goalie had this crazy stick save. Like dude, like the saves you see out of the goalies, like you'll see 1,000 crazy saves in roller hockey over a weekend. On ice hockey, you might see one like crazy save. every game you could see a crazy save, which is so cool about it. And there's a lot less shots. But the average shots for a team in a game, because the game's a little bit shorter, the average shots for a team, I mean, if you break 15 shots, like that's a good game for you. You get a lot of shots on that. If you break 15, I feel like you guys might tell me I'm wrong, but I think like around 15 shots is a pretty good amount of shots. So as a goalie, statistically, if you have 15 shots, you let in 2 goals, your save percentage is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like 2 goals on
That'd be
15
dialed.
shots, you're floating around the 850s.
Yeah.
So roller hockey though, that's a good save percentage. And ice, you wouldn't see the ice again. So
It
that's
takes
why
off the pressure.
yeah, no, absolutely. It's super cool. Like I love it. I think it's awesome. My plan for the future now is to play roller hockey until I can't skate anymore. You know, like I love roller hockey.
Player or goalie?
Not
Goalie.
player. I'm not
Goalie.
a player. I'm not giving a player.
He's a goalie. He's a goalie. on,
He's
on this podcast, he's a goalie.
I play player too
He is kind of nasty.
in like the local men's league where I'm from, and that's fun. But I know my role. I know my role. I know where I belong, and it's not on the rink. It's better to be a goalie.
Better to be in the crease.
Sorry, hold on. I had to. Justin was
Sorry?
super gross. He was gross, and now it's a good comment. You know what I mean?
What do you say?
Butrico is one of our best guys.
One of them, but
Justin-
I was nasty.
Justin's
Who?
my favorite player.
55. I'm so glad he wasn't on the rink at the end of the game. I was kidding. Justin's my favorite
What?
player.
He should have been out there. My favorite players go 55 on black ice 2.0, 16 on black ice, and then myself. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't hear 35 anywhere in there. That's crazy.
It's a loaner jersey, that's why.
Who's
Yeah, I know.
35?
It's a training camp uni.
No, I gave my goalie jersey. They didn't give you a jersey.
Yeah, they gave me jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, not to
No, I have to keep.
Oh, I
Oh,
I don't want
that's
to keep them anyway.
No, I-
So obviously, like roller hockey is like kicking ass right now. Is like where do you see it going in the future, especially like with the youth hockey, and then as it keeps going up?
I think it really depends on the players that play like at our level to keep trying to grow the youth and do things outside of the rink, like outside of these tournaments. Like for example, we have a guy that you met earlier on the podcast, Todd Burgell.
Yeah.
He runs one of the best youth programs in the sport because he plays in an outdoor rink and he has six and under, 8 and under, 10 and under high school divisions. Like he's still trying to grow the sport. We need more of that because if we don't have people to advocate for it, we're not gonna have a sport anymore.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that we have one indoor rink in Florida in the whole state. I think, and I keep hearing all these, like my hometown's Peaceville, Pennsylvania. That used to be like the main rink for Winter Wars, college nationals. That's gone. So I think it hurts losing rinks, but I think if people like Justin can help coach and promote it and get it out there and stuff like that, that's the way that we can grow the sport and keep it going. Obviously, Butrico's late to the party, but like you can tell he loves the sport. If he would have been able to know what he knows now, he probably would have been playing at 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Easily.
so, you know,
Absolutely.
it's just getting these, you know, especially nowadays is like social media is a big thing for even these young kids. They have phones at 4 years old somehow. And you can get it all out there and show that roller hockey is a fun thing to do. And even if you're a diehard ice hockey player, you can still do it, you know, in your off time. I think Justin said it, like in your, you know, you come here, you have fun, you do, you know, you try some extra stuff that you wouldn't do at ice hockey, but just getting it out there and spreading the word is the way to grow it. And I think that's what we really need right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just really grow and like use social media to your advantage too, because like
Absolutely.
like you said, like they have phones at 4 somehow, and
Yeah.
they're on Instagram at like 6 somehow, even though I think there's an age limit there, but like just to grow it and like you have all these resources to grow it, and like you just want to continue to have like the youth like learn about roller hockey and then have them fall in love with the sport and have it just rise up from there.
Absolutely. And I think these tournaments do a good job with that because as soon as they have the clips of the games, they post it on YouTube or Instagram and they spread it out there to see that, yeah, it's good to see like, okay, we just played a roller hockey game and the stands were literally packed and it felt like probably like a semi-professional ice hockey. You know?
Like to compare it, Jack, you know how in Carolina, oh, you guys never came down to Carolina last year, but
No.
in Carolina last year, we would sell out a lot.
Yeah,
The
that's what
energy
I've heard.
The energy in the rink yesterday, just for their pro game, was higher than the sellout in Carolina. Like it was crazy. People are around the glass. People are standing. Like I love Carolina. Don't get me wrong. Like the people there are awesome.
Yeah.
The organization's awesome. The owners are awesome. But there's nothing like people who have no interest technically. Like technically speaking, they didn't buy a ticket to come. You know, they could go do whatever they wanted, but they chose at 8 o'clock last night to watch that pro game, and the amount of people that chose to watch that, it was awesome to see. Even at tours in Tampa this year, every pro game was packed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's so
that's
cool
what
to
you
see
need.
that people get behind it.
Yeah, that's what you need to grow it.
And it really is important for players like that are well known or anything to try and give back and try and do things to get these kids to know that roller hockey is an actual sport, and it really does have a good future if we just do the right things.
No,
Who knows?
absolutely. Like
Maybe they'll be in the Olympics soon.
We tried.
Yeah, it should be. But Kraft's absolutely right. Like without Kraft and without this guy Wilfredo, I wouldn't exist really, and Schnapp as well. Like I wouldn't be where I am today without them. Like without him doing his job and trying to grow the sport, I wouldn't even be playing because I would have just played in my local men's league every Tuesday or whatever. But he has such an impact in the roller world. As long as like, obviously I'm just buddies with Schnapp, so I just play with him and Wilfredo. He's an awesome guy, and he really has helped me out a lot getting into roller hockey. And he introduced me to Kraft, and he really introduced me to this world, honestly, of roller hockey. So without those guys, I wouldn't be here. And I'm not the only case. You know, like there's thousands of people just like me that without those guys, we wouldn't even be here to begin with.
And now
So
next
it's
year,
cool to see.
I'm planning on coming to play. So even
You definitely got to come to
from
State
there.
Wars. Yeah, you definitely got to come.
Yeah, I strongly recommend coming to State Wars because of you can maybe take advantage of the podcast and you can talk to all different kinds of players and just get different perspectives, and even some of the parents that are there for the kids, and just see, it'd be really cool to get some coverage like that.
Yeah, that'd be huge, and it like we've said, it grows the sport by just doing stuff like that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I appreciate your time and taking some time out of your day to come on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
we got you, Jack. It's been like a year and a half now. I feel like that you've been asking me.
This is what I've been talking about, though. We need stuff like this to get it out there and have different ears listening and stuff like that. So we appreciate you and everything you're doing. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, what's like your Instagram handle so people know how to find you and we grow the game some more?
I have to look it because I don't even know.
Black Ice Roller Hockey is one of them. So go follow Black Ice Roller Hockey, definitely.
First clip.
That and Conics. So the gentleman here, that Boyo, he is one of the runners of. Just actually explain better.
Yeah. So Nick Boyarsky helps with a lot of the Conics Outcast youth programs in Arizona and on the West Coast. He runs a wheel company and apparel company for strictly rollers called Conics. And he's a big help in, growing the roller, and he runs that Instagram account. He does a lot for not only us, but for the youth programs as well. Not just, helping out the pro guys, but everyone from, pro to 6 and under. Like, Nick's a really good guy.
It's at Kraft 1695.
There you go.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm brutal with the social media stuff. I kind of just scroll through, but if you want to shoot
Hey,
I'll take the follow though.
yeah, take the
do
follow.
the black ice hockey one. That one's good. So follow that.
Perfect.
Black Ice Conics, Unify, follow those guys.
Anthony Butrico.
And Anthony Butrico, yeah. And Justin Alfaro. You can follow Justin, I guess.
Well,
I don't even know if are you old enough for Instagram yet?
All right, I gotta go coach a game.
Yeah, Jack, thank you, dude,
thanks,
so
boys.
much.
See ya.
Thanks.